Welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. After a bunch of, I took a couple of days and just waited for things to update a little bit, and then I spent some more time searching on the forums and Kerbal Spaceport, and another couple of hours getting everything installed and tested, and I have found that it turns out that the existing save that was started in 18 and continued in point 19 can now continue in point 20 with all flights intact. We have, as a recap, we have the Discovery orbiting Duna. Also orbiting Duna is Lander 1 and Lander 2 and Fuel 1, which was a fuel transport ship. We have a ill-fated Kethane miner that crash-landed on Ike. Well, it landed, but then it tipped over because it didn't land on anything remotely resembling flat, or level, I should say. It was flat, but it wasn't level. And the engines broke off, and the ship is at an angle, and it's unlikely that the Kethane mining gear will be any use at all. We have an original prototype XD Drive Mark II in orbit around Kerbin. We have Fuel 2, another cluster of ships on its way to Duna, bearing a load of fuel. We have Fuel 3, which was the most recent launch of another load of fuel for the crew at Duna. And then we have the XD Drive orbiting Ike, which is the ship that the Kethane miner undocked from. And so we can continue the adventure, the storyline, as it was. And so I think perhaps switch over to Lander 1 and have a look at the situation it has here. And you see there's a fair amount of fuel aboard. It's just going to be a matter of making sure there's enough for a lander to do some good. Let's see. Nothing. Okay, the outboard tanks have nothing here. Got a fair amount of fuel here. Those outboard tanks are full. There's none here. So, let's transfer all of the remaining fuel here into the lander. And this lander can go down and proceed to scout out a landing site for the colony. Okay, yeah, we've got parachutes and all sorts of good happy stuff here. Let's turn the lights on. Oh crap, this one doesn't have lights. It's one of the earlier models. Okay, I guess we don't have lights. Far from ideal, but we're going to go for it. So, we will undock. No. Switch to the lander. Now we can control from here. And let's have a look at where we're at. This one is not quite in an equatorial orbit, but that's not necessarily a problem. All right. So, throw a maneuver here. Okay, it's going counterclockwise. Alright, let's remove that maneuver. Place one over here at the apoapsis. Let's see. That trench or canyon or whatever it is, it looks like an interesting place, so give that a shot. Okay, I think we can manage that much delta V, so let's go ahead and warp around. Get into position to do this burn. Now it does occur to me that because of planetary rotation, I need to adjust this a little bit. And also just take it and move it this way a little. Adjust it as needed. Let's get a better look here. Back this up a little bit, just back up the whole maneuver. Alright, let's go with this. Get this thing around to the right position. There we go. Enable the engines. Okay, no, we don't need to enable that one. No, yeah, we'd go ahead and do that. I am going to hit stage lock, however, to prevent staging accidents. And let's see if we can set this thing down anywhere remotely resembling close to target. Alright. Quick burst on the engines to get an estimate of burn time. 29 seconds. Okay. So we'll burn in about 15. And this crew can be the first crew to plant a flag on the surface of a body other than Kerbin. All right. Looks good. Maneuver node drifting here, so let's get back in line. Alright. let's just allow for the fact that Duna will continue rotating. Okay, we've got plenty of delta V left. All right. It's just... There's our projected landing canyon. It's too bad this ship doesn't have a keythane detector on it. We could see if it's actually a really good spot, because landing on fuel would be great. Let's have a look at this out here. Okay. All right, looking good. Get back on our retrograde marker here. Time warp down some. Okay, landing gear. At least we can land in the daytime. Okay, I think we can start decelerating some here. That's zoomed in all the way. Should be an okay trip. Okay, we've killed most of our velocity here. What does this look? All right. Let's go with the vertical descent. And if I do it right with the fuel, this thing might actually have enough juice to lift off as well. Although I think it might be better to wait for a liftoff. Yeah, on second thought, this thing is going to be just about out of gas by the time it hits the ground. Or perhaps I shouldn't say hits the ground. We want it to reach the ground safely. And I'm going to do an on-the-fly staging change. Bring these parachutes down here. Remove stage lock. And At about 8,000, deploy the chutes to help slow things down. Okay, let's go. I hit it. Nothing seemed to happen. Okay, now they're alive. All right. Ground is coming up pretty quickly. Looks to be sort of, kind of, mostly okay-ish. Although they haven't opened up all the way yet, and that's concerning. Just enough throttle to get our... What is going on here? I really wish those things had deployed all the way. And now I hope they don't disappear. Okay, they're fully deployed. Awfully freaking late, if you ask me. Just enough throttle to keep our landing at a safe speed. Landhat seems to be thrilled as all get out. Mundo is liking the trip, and Joe Moore is like, yeah, this is cool, but I'd rather be watching football. There's our shadow. No, 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 no! Ah, we have another explosion, another crash landing. Oh, boy. This mission has been loaded with problems all the way. However, on the bonus side... Wait a minute. Let's stage that thing off the capsule. See if we can at least get this thing upright. Okay, we've at least got our guys upright. Well, Landhead is still pretty thrilled about the thing, so let's take him EVA. This does actually look like a decent plane. We're kind of on the edge of it. So, let's see. I got an idea here. Let's, because we can, I think we can use these flags as a, faceplant. I think the flags can be used as a, beacon, sort of like. So I'm going to walk him down over here onto the plane, onto that flat area. And he's going to plant the flag down there. And that can be a navigation target for future landings that won't have to land on a slope. Okay, now this looks, well, it looked flat. But then again, it always does until I actually turn to look at it from the side. Alright, this is a flat area. So, let's get in here and do what we've been wanting to do for a while. He's... oh, he's just enjoying the run, huh? Let's plant a flag. Site name. And it's going with that default flag because this pre-existing mission didn't have an opportunity to set a mission flag. Okay. Colony 1. Let's try not crashing this time. Alright. I'm going to walk him back up to the capsule for now. No, he can stay here. We have other things to do. Let's get rid of the time warp. And let's see, lander 2. Fly that one. How's its fuel? Well, there's fuel in the outboard, but not in the 64. That one's full. And those are empty. Okay, let's do some more fuel transferring. Interesting. Outboard tanks on the lander are not evenly balanced fuel-wise. Apparently only 2 of them got drained instead of all 4. So we'll just top them all off and set this thing off with a full load of fuel and then take a shot at a precision landing. See if we can land on the spot we just planted, or close to the spot we just planted a flag. Preferably without destroying the ship in the process. Well, might as well top off the RCS. Alright. Undock. Switch vessels. And let's... oh boy. This one's going to be a bear. Inclination is way off. Actually, I want to set Colony 1 flag as a target. I didn't want to switch. Alright, I guess we're setting Colony 1, the lander, here as a target. Let's put our view back on that. Alright. Now, we are going to need, well, first of all, what direction is this thing orbiting? Okay. That's not going to cut it at all. The idea here is to get the orbit somehow crossing over the landing site. And I had it and blew it. Well, it's an approximation at least. Alright, let's see about getting lined up. This is going to be a anti-normal burn-ish. Alright, now let's warp ahead to our burn point. And see if we can set this thing down somewhere near where we want it to be. Just now 2 minutes out. Oh, I forgot. Guys, this is not the ship. What in tarnation? Alright, where's the rest of it? so currently active, but I can't seem to switch to it. All right. Okay, we got it. Now, of course, now that maneuver node is toast, I have to do that all over again. Actually, come to think of it, this looked like it might, going this way looked like it might cost a little less fuel. No, maybe not, but all right, go with that one. Once again, see about getting lined up. Making sure we're using the right ship this time. All right, and now we'll warp around. And our warp clips us through the planet. Isn't it lovely? Stop short here just a little bit before the burn. See, yeah, planetary rotation has carried it around. You know, at this point we could almost try to plan a landing right there instead of the currently planned maneuver. Okay. Let's bring it down here and see what we get. Get lined up. And burn. Oh. Once again, forgot to engage the engines. I wonder if I can get away with this. Do another maneuver here to do a plane change to get closer lined up. Is that going to help? Maybe. It's going to be more expensive in terms of fuel. Okay, now that, allowing for planetary rotation, might just put us down in the ballpark. Coming into plane. So far it's a polar touchdown. Okay, this is looking better. Cut. Alright, we can try additional burns later on. So let's get to later on. How's our resources? This thing's got plenty of fuel. Reaching a time warp limit because of our altitude. Yeah. Let's get turned around retrograde because that's the next thing. Oh boy. And we do the maneuver wobble. Okay. see what happens here. Just a little bit of thrust. Alright, let's warp ahead a little bit more. Oh, we're low enough that this is the only warp we can do. Alright, let's roll this thing around heads up. Simply because that will make it easier to relate to what's where. This looks like it's going to be one of those graze the surface kind of landings. Not thrilled about that. Frankly, I'd rather do a straight vertical descent. Well, it shows our target. Let's do something about slowing down and slowing our descent. Mostly slowing the descent. It's getting dangerously low, and let's make that staging change. The parachutes. Looks like I might get that vertical descent after all. Landing gear down. Any lights on this thing? No. Alright, we're over the plane here, so canyon, whatever. Let's get retrograde and kill the horizontal. Oh, come on, come on. Six kilometers away, most of that being altitude. Fine controls, I should have had that on to begin with. descent is nearly vertical. Okay. Parachutes deployed, or activated. They will deploy when the altitude is right. I'm going to tip this way a little bit and actually increase some of the horizontal velocity to see if we get a chance of actually landing closer to where we're going. Otherwise, it's a nice long walk for some unfortunate Kerbal. There's our parachutes. We have an oh crap. The outrigger engines are out of fuel. They were fully fueled, but not anymore. Not liking the look of this. This is not looking good at all. Right now, I think any landing we can walk away from. Trying to keep the thrust vector aligned with a retrograde is somewhat challenging. As is keeping our descent velocity at an acceptable level. And speaking of levels, our fuel level is getting pretty bad. Full chute deploy anytime now. Any day now. Okay, let's actually descend. But not that fast. Come on. Oh, not another one. Well, this one didn't explode. I'll say that much for it. I suppose we can get it upright again. No, it doesn't look like it. So we have another one. Beautiful. Well, obviously, working on landings is very high on the agenda of things to do. And we'll work on that next time. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. I'm out of here.